Guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Of course, this is a movie review for the new Scream 2022. Really excited to talk about this one with you guys. I gotta say that I'm gonna be talking to you as if I was talking to my buddies, my family, my friends. This is just me just talking, okay? This is just me talking about the movie that I went and saw. If you want proof that I went and saw the movie in theaters, bam, Scream 2022. You guys see that? Star Cinemas, Hillsborough, Ohio. Thing I'm gonna say is that I'm a massive fan of the first Scream film. I really enjoy a lot of the sequels. I even enjoy the third one, even knowing I'm not particularly a big fan of the third one. I still enjoy it for what it is. I didn't really care about the twist about that one. I really didn't. But the first one to me is almost a flawless horror film. The first one to me is so beautifully directed by Wes Craven and so well written and so clever that I could not help but fall in love with it. And it doesn't help that the movie feels it held a special place in my heart because it was made in 1996, which is the same year I was born. So to have a slasher film come out the same year I was born, it's gonna mean something to me. Trying to reboot the franchise of Scream since 2011. I didn't know what to expect when going into this movie. I didn't know what to expect. The only thing I heard about the movie was that it was meta. Very meta, and it is meta for sure. This is, and I wish I might, for my spoiler review, I'll take more time to develop the movie. This is just me just talking about the film as I walked out, what I thought of it, how I felt. I went on a date, and my date, who really also enjoyed the film, I really enjoyed the film. If you guys couldn't tell, I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed it overall. It was a great time. And it's the first time I went to the movies since 2019. Now, that's the last time I went to the movies, was back in 2019, and the last film I saw was It Chapter 2. The last time I was in the movies before the pandemic. And we're still in the pandemic. Isn't that crazy to think about? This was a good cut. I'm so happy that I went and saw Scream. I thought, what better way to go back to the theaters by watching Scream? And I really can't think of any, because this movie was fucking awesome. The pacing is one of the things I want to talk about. The pacing of the movie, which just goes by so fast. This movie was like over in an instant. And we were sitting there like, I remember even the girl I was with, she was like, oh, it's already over? Oh, wow. And I'm like, yeah, oh my God, it's already over. And it's like, wow, oh shit. For Wes, by the way, for Wes Craven would be, I think Wes Craven would genuinely be proud of this movie. Genuinely, I think so. I think this movie was... it felt like a Wes Craven movie. It felt like a 90s movie, which is something I don't see often. With more commonly known horror films of today, we don't get to feel that 90s feel. We don't get to feel that 1970s, that style. And it's back in this movie. I feel like you almost come back to the 90s with this movie, which is crazy and awesome for me. Again, loving the first Scream film, going into this, making me really want to rewatch the first Scream again, which it wasn't even that long ago when I watched Scream. It was literally like 2 weeks ago. I watched the first Scream movie. It might have been less than 2 weeks ago. It might have been a week ago. When I watched the first Scream movie, the full-length movie revisit is actually on Patreon right now, so if you want to sit down and watch the full movie of Scream with me, go over to Patreon, and for $1 a month, you can watch the full movie with me. Anytime you want, really. There's a lot of things in this movie that I think if you're genuinely a fan of that first Scream movie, you're probably going to really enjoy this film, especially if you're a fan of the characters of the first film and you're a fan of what they were trying to accomplish with that first film. I think what they do in this film, trying to reinvent those things and trying to reestablish the rules of surviving a horror film, you're going to really enjoy this movie. There's a lot of Easter eggs, and there's a lot of things that you're going to notice if you're a Scream fan. I even think I missed a lot of it, a lot of the moments for Scream fans. And I really, it's so self-aware. It's so self-aware, and I love it for those reasons. I mean, there are moments where they bring up movies of like today, like they make fun, like they don't make fun, but they bring up like the Babadook, Jordan Peele, stuff like that, movies of today and how different they are from movies back then, and how, oh, no. I genuinely, when the movie opened up, I gotta tell you, when the movie opened up, I was already sucked into it, and I was so back in the 90s, and I was so ready. I was so ready to watch this thing. I'll even say, like, I think the opening for this was even more special than the opening of Halloween Kills for me. And I love Halloween Kills. It's so, And I'm not wanting to come off like I'm saying this is a better movie than Halloween Kills, because Halloween Kills to me is one of the best slasher films of the past decade, and I loved every minute of it. I genuinely think, though, that these guys did a phenomenal job bringing Scream back, and I think they bringing Ghostface back, who was actually really scary in this film. I would even say he was scarier in this film than he was in Scream 4. And Scream 4's Ghostface was really good, and I gotta say, they nailed it on that level. The suspense is well built up. I love there's moments where like you'll expect, you'll be in your mind, you'll be like, oh, he's behind the door, and he's not behind the door. Oh, he's behind the fridge, and he's not behind the fridge. There's moments like that, and they just keep making you guess, and it's just like, oh god, don't do this to me. And those moments are so fun to me. You feel a genuine rush of excitement when shit like that happens. I remember the girl I was sitting with was literally jumping every like 10 minutes. Like she was like, oh god. And they were really good jump scares. They weren't just jump scares to be jump scares. They were well built up jump scares that were making you actually like freak out, and that was well deserved. They utilized the original cast perfectly in this movie. They balanced them out with the new cast perfectly with the original cast. They weren't overshadowing, which was something I thought was going to happen, was that the original cast was going to come in and they were going to overshadow the new cast. And yes, they're really cool to see on the screen, and you're like, oh god, yes, Cindy Prescott. Oh gosh, Dewey. Oh gosh, Gale Weathers. And honestly, they're about as exciting as watching just the normal cast that they put in the movie. Like they work off each other very well, and they're not overshadowing each other. It's actually really damn cool how they did that, because I still don't know how they did that, and I'm just like, if you're going to just to see the original cast, you might be a little disappointed because they're not in the movie as much as you might think. They're brought into the movie when shit really starts hitting the fan, but they're not in it for like the full runtime. No. Like I was actually surprised how long it took to finally get into the original cast. I was like, oh man, we might be at least like, I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes already in the movie, and they're not even here yet. And when they come in, you're like, oh, thank God. I gotta say, David Arquette is probably my favorite returning cast member. David Arquette's a genius in this movie, and I bring that fucking man back to movies. David Arquette's a legend. I don't know why we don't see him in movies anymore. If someone could comment down below telling me why he's not in movies as often. But if they start bringing him back into film, I would be just so honored and happy. David Arquette is just awesome. I miss that guy so much, dude. He was one of my favorite actors back in the day. Anyways, they utilized the cast perfectly, and you like them all. There's so many likable characters in this movie. I'd even say that the characters in this movie are more likable than even the last couple movies. In my opinion, they are. I genuinely mean that, because, the other movies really you only just went to go see for Cindy Prescott, Neve Campbell, and all the other original cast members, and that's mostly, the ones you stuck with throughout the franchise. But this one, they introduced new characters, and they did that in, Scream 4, but, like, this one really introduces new characters from the beginning to the end, and you actually really enjoy these characters. You enjoy them being on screen, and I think they really, really did that well. The characters are really likable in this movie, for the most part. Some are not, but they're really likable. Now, if I were to talk about the twist, because, even you can talk about the twist without actually giving the twist away and the spoilers and all that stuff. I did not see the killer coming. Not until probably about 40 minutes into the movie. There's a moment where I was like, I had my guesses. I like the first guess, I was wrong. 100% wrong. The second guess, because I was already suspecting everybody, because everybody's a suspect. I was already suspecting everybody being the killer. I was even going to the original cast and suspecting them. And I was like suspecting everybody, really. But my first guess was wrong. Second guess was wrong. I was wrong on both my second and first guesses. And sometimes I'm slow with picking up, kind of trying to catch on. But I don't mean to be, but that's just what happens sometimes. But I gotta say, the third time I was right. So, third time's a charm, of course. I was finally right my third time. And I'll tell you what, you are genuinely absorbed into the story. You're absorbed because of the characters. The characters make you curious of what's going to happen next, and it works out. It blends out perfectly, and the tone and the type, the timing is perfect. The movie made me laugh a lot more than I thought it was going to, which is a big surprise because I did not expect to laugh as much as I thought I would. And you do laugh a lot in this movie, by the way. Not only do they have really good scary moments, there are a lot of gut-busting, out-loud laughing moments. The dialogue is really damn good in this movie. So props to the director and the writers for this film. I think they really did a good job. Great stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if you guys could tell, but I really utterly enjoyed this movie, and it goes by like that. You know, Halloween Kills drags out a bit. It goes by, but it drags out a bit. You know, and there's nothing wrong with dragging out, but this movie really does, I think, have an overall better tone. It has a better overall time. It has a better. It's better paced than Halloween Kills, I would say. And I don't know why I'm comparing it to Halloween Kills of all the slasher films out there. Maybe because they came out not too far apart. And they both have to do something with very classic and iconic characters, such as like Ghostface and Michael Myers. It's one of the better paced slasher films I've seen in a while. I would say it probably is as well paced as Halloween 2018. Oddly enough, they kind of made fun of Halloween 2018 by calling it Scream 2022, but obviously, you know, they're self-aware, and I love it for that. Even the posters are very, very similar, so like, you know, they was very self-aware. This is a really good movie, guys. This is a really good movie. Actually, if you have not went out to the theaters and seen it yet, and you're kind of you're a little bit iffy on it, I would say for Wes, first off, and most of all, for Wes, or for yourselves, if you are a fan of the franchise, you're going to enjoy the movie. I have no doubts in my mind you're not going to enjoy this movie. This movie is really fun. This is one of the funnest times I had in the movie theaters in a while. Especially being a slasher fan, one of the funnest times I have had in the theater for a while. Yeah, that's all I got to say about Scream, guys. I really hope you go out and check it out because I'm really curious to hear your opinions. If you guys have already seen it, please comment down below what you guys thought of it. If I had to grade this on my grading scale, of course, I go from 0 to out of 10. Between 0 and 10, I feel very confident. I feel very confident at... You see, I'm going back and forth between 8 and 7, but I feel like a 7.8 out of 10 is a fair grade for this movie. I think it's a very fucking good time. You're gonna enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe to the channel. Check out our Patreon page if you like this type of content and you want to see this channel continuing. Best way to support the channel is going on over to Patreon, and you can be at the end credits of our videos. You can get exclusive content. You can watch the full-length movie of Scream with me. That's fun. And until next time, movie friends, keep it retro, and I'll check you guys out in the next video. Take care.
Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be doing a a reaction. Oh, wow, I can't hear myself. Today we're going to be doing a reaction to perfect. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that my mic was like not flubbing up as usual. Scoot that. I'm sorry about that. I'm terrible at this. Crap. I really haven't done this in a while. Oh my gosh, my camera's terrible. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, I think we're better. Jordan's gonna, like, flay me for this.